Hey, we're the Ohio guys on location at Shootokan in Lansing, Michigan. And today we're joined by Tyson Rinehart. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, thank you very much.
Good. Our first question is probably one you get asked a lot in panels. How did you get into voice acting?
The simple answer is acting. The more complicated version of that is I've been doing acting since I was 11, so roughly 21 years. And I did a number of stage plays in Dallas, and in doing those, I ended up meeting several voice actors. And I met Sonny Strait first. I did a show with him, and he was like, "You're a lot of fun. You should come out and audition sometime." Went out and auditioned, nothing happened. A year later, I did a show with Eric Vale, and he was like, "You're a lot of fun. You should come out and audition sometime." I was like, "All right." Went out, auditioned, nothing happened. And then I finally did Midsummer Night's Dream with Ian Sinclair, and he was like, "You're a lot of fun. You should come out and audition sometime." I went out and auditioned, and I got, I think, One Piece and Initial D were like the first things I worked on. Just background voices, that kind of stuff, but it got me started and all that. So if anyone's interested in becoming a voice actor, be an actor first and then be lucky, I guess.
What's it like being in a band?
It is awesome. It is terrible. It is a constant experience of ups and downs, because you'll like write a new song and everybody will get real excited about it and start working on it, and invariably somehow someone in the band starts kind of self-destructing in one way or another, like where they just don't take the time to get ready before a show, or the show goes perfectly well and the audience just doesn't really get into it. And it's one of those things that you absolutely love to do, but it's also one of those things that you hate loving to do sometimes, but you do it anyway because that's what there is, like that's my life. So it's a lot of fun. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be in 3 bands, plus. Some of them are no longer around now, but that's part of the bad. That goes with all the good of being up and having fun. So, but yeah, most of all, it's a lot of fun, and if it's not fun, then you should probably reevaluate your goals.
What was it like writing for Attack on Titan?
I went to NDK, it's a con in Denver. I had a lot of fun there. I was a guest, and I received an email from John Bergmeyer, who's the head writer at Funimation. And I'd been writing scripts for them for a while, and I'd done my second show, which actually hasn't been released yet, so I can't talk about it, but I'd done Aquarion Evil, and then did the second show, which is still in the works. And then I got the email from John being like, "Hey, give me a call when you got a second. I want to talk to you about the next project." So I give him a call. I'm just hanging out in the green room, and he tells me that he wants me to work with Michael Tatum on Attack on Titan. And I'm like, "Yes." On Attack on Titan. And
That's a plug right there.
Yeah, maybe you've heard of it. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds great, cool. And I hung up the phone, looked around, went over to the porch, or the balcony, opened the balcony door, stepped out, closed it, and then went, "Ah!" And I was just so excited, I literally screeched like a little girl. And then I had to go inside, just, okay, there's a big deal, there's a big deal. And I kind of acted a fool, but I feel that was appropriate because it's a heck of a show. It was a lot of fun to work on it. I watched the show in Japanese during the simulcast, and I watched the first 2 episodes and just absolutely fell in love with the show, was amazed by it, and just kept trying to catch every week the new episode that came out, and getting to work on it was a total delight. My first episode that I wrote was episode 3, which is when they're in boot camp, and that's where Sasha Potato Girl Browse becomes Potato Girl. So I got to write that, which is an iconic moment in the show, and that was very overwhelming, and it was also very, very exciting and humbling, and just everything that you could want in a project like that was given to me on a silver platter, and I am so thankful for my being able to be a part of it.
That's good. What was it like working on High School DXD?
High School DXD, I had a lot of fun with that. A relatively unknown fact is that I was not the first voice actor to be cast for Matsuda. I don't know who it was. I think it was somebody who was brand new, had just done a good audition, and they had him come in and work on the first episode, and it took hours to get like the first few lines, and so it became patently obvious that he wasn't going to work out. And so I got called in to replace him, and so I come in and I do this one voice, and I do the first episode for Matsuda, and I then talked to Jamie Markey, who was the lead writer on DXD, and she's like, yeah, I was thinking kind of, a suburbanite rapper kind of like feel to it, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give that a shot, and that's what happened, is I kind of went with Matsuda being a Japanese teenager who sounds like, who's a white guy, being voiced by a white guy trying to sound urban, and it was just weird and fun and a great time. I actually, because of the situation with the voice actor switch, part of me considered doing the first episode as me, and then changing my name every subsequent episode that I appeared in, so that people would be like, wow, they could never just lock down the voice actor for
That would have
this
been
guy.
entertaining.
Exactly.
Hardcore fans would have realized it and been like, that is really weird.
They'd be like, that's still the same guy, but he keeps changing his name.
You would have had a lot of aliases at that point.
I would have had 7, 8 aliases, something like that.
Yeah.
I started naming them. I was like, all right, so there's Tyson Rinehart, that's me. And then there'd be like Luke Ramone, and then there'd be like Perry Humblebody or something like that. And, once I got to that point, I was like, that's just funny. I can't not do that. But unfortunately, I didn't do it. I stuck with my real name. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was High School DXD is a fun enough show that just seemed like the kind of thing that you should do, because it's just to have fun with the show. And I had a great time with it.
Good. Is there anything coming out you can talk about, or anything that might have recently come out that you want to plug?
Yes.
Other than that?
Yes. Yeah. There's a show called Attack on Titan, perhaps you've heard of. There's also a show called Carnival, which I got to play a video game playing henchman in. I've got several lines. I'm still new enough as a voice actor that anytime I get a character that has a name, I get excited and do like a little happy dance, because I've done so many shows where I'm Cop 3A or Soldier 17B and stuff like that, when I get a name, I'm like, yeah! So yeah, Carnival, I worked on that. I am the character Kagiri, and I've got like superpowers. I got special attacks, which always is fun to do. It's not as cool as Destructo Disc, but I'll take it. So yeah, check out Carnival, and there's a bunch of good things in there. Ian Sinclair is basically doing the role you would expect Michael Tatum to do. Michael Tatum is doing the role you'd expect Ian Sinclair to do.
That'll be interesting.
So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a fun show. And Chris Bevins was the ADR director on it. He's a great guy to work with.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my plug. It's Carnival.
Okay. For the fans who haven't seen the first interview with you, Facebook, Twitter, any other social medias?
Yes, I am on the Facebook or the Faceplace, depending on how old you are. You are old if you put the in front of it. So yeah, I'm on Facebook. You can find me, Tyson Rinehart, voice actor. And I plug all the new things that I get announced on that webpage. And check it out, stay tuned, and see what's happening.
We'd like to thank you for joining us today.
I'd like to thank you for having me.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
We're the Ohio Guys on Location. I'm Mike, he's Tyson, and we'll see you next time.